Welcome, this is Casey O'Brien with the National Cyber League. I'm here with James Jones from the Mid-Pacific Information and Communication Technology Center in San Francisco, and Justin Ray with Eyesight Partners. We want to talk about how scoring will work, and really not so much talk about how it will work, but rather point you to some resources where you can do some further reading. And the best place to go is the nationalcyberleague.org website. There's a scoring link along the left-hand side of any page, and it describes what a capture the flag game is, and then what challenges are within these capture the flag games, and basically how a player or a team wins. And the general gist of it is the player or team with the highest cumulative score at the end of a game wins. But they're specific then beyond just that high-level discussion or description of a capture the flag event and how scoring works at a high level, details that you'll want to drill down into for how scoring will work for each of the preseason, regular season, and postseason games. And on the scoring link itself, or I should say at the scoring page on the NCL site, there are links to both the preseason, regular season, and postseason that can then discuss or go down into further detail how scoring will work. So, for example, you're looking at here how scoring works for the regular season, and specifically what happens then in the event a tiebreaker is needed. So I highly encourage players and coaches to spend some time learning about how scoring works. There's also a rules link along the left here, and that will open a PDF, and there's information as well in the rules document about scoring. Everything that's in the rules document is on the website as basically its own section, if you will. So that's where you can go to see how scoring works at a high level, and then where you can also go to see how scoring works for each of the preseason, regular season, and postseason games. We will be creating scores and posting those on the NCL scoreboard on our website for the top players by bracket, both in conference and national play, for each of the competencies in which we are measuring skills. So on page 2 of the rules document, you'll see here the 8 competencies that not only the hosted lab exercises have been developed around, but the games themselves have been designed to specifically validate and measure skills. And so we will be creating a scorecard, if you will, a scouting report for each player competing in the 2013 fall season based on these 8 competencies. And you'll see how you rank in each of these 8 competencies in your bracket, both by conference and nationally. So, for example, how did James do in the cryptographic flags in game 1 of the regular season in his bracket? So how did he rank in his bracket against other players in his bracket in his conference? But also, conversely, how did he rank against other players in his bracket nationally? And there'll be a score for each of these 8 competencies, as well as then just an overall score. So how did I do overall at the end of game 1? So what was my total flag score, and how does that rank against everybody else that competed in game 1, for example? And then we'll be making the player scores available to the players after the games. James or Justin, any questions or additional comments? Can't hear you, James.
Are all flags scored equally?
Are these what?
Are all flags scored equally?
Are all labs scored equally?
Flags.
Flags. Justin, you want to take that one? Are all flags scored equally?
Sure, absolutely. So all flags are not scored equally. The flag value is weighted based on the perceived difficulty for that given flag. So flags are not weighted equally. They will have different scores based on their difficulty.
Another question from the field. Just one more time. How do I get my scores?
So it'll be either one of two ways. Either we'll mail out the scores post-game, and or we'll be making the scores available through the threat space game environment.
Okay. I am a coach. How can I see my players' scores?
You contact the NCL event organizers at info@nationalcyberleague.org.
Okay. One more question. I am a coach. Scores in the threat space environment are by handle. How do I know what my players' handles are?
Justin, you want to field that one?
So when you're looking at that list, you can actually click on the handle to see their public profile, which should include, if they've added it to their profile, it should include their first and last name. Otherwise, you'll need to speak to your students or contact the NCL at info@nationalcyberleague.org.
Great. That's it from the field.
Great. Thanks for the question, Justin. Thanks for the time. Best of luck to everybody in the 2013 NCL fall season. We'll see you next time.